it's a difficult question. What enchants you? I mean, Obama was never challenged seriously by the media. Trump doesn't have any of that. He's got to keep his supporters on board. He's got to keep them revved up. So the rally was great. But the thing that will really make all this Russia stuff and all this deep state stuff not take hold is getting to work, implementing the repeal of Obamacare, getting to work and really doing tax reform, and getting to work and really shore up our borders, because that is the primary area where people that voted for Trump felt that we were on the way to losing the country. We've even lost the definition of immigration. Immigration today, if you listen to the left, equals anybody who wants to come into the country should be allowed. That's not what immigration is. That's illegal immigration, and we ought to all oppose it. We are all in favor of immigration that determines who gets in, the quantity of people who get in, whether they assimilate or not. Nobody's opposed to that. But immigration has been defined now as people flooding the country who are non-citizens, and that's called immigration according to the culture of the left. And we're just ruining our opportunity to stay together as a people with common culture.
I want to get to this question of focusing on the domestic agenda, because interestingly enough, that's something you've been saying. He needs to focus on the key things that would improve people's daily lives. There is a columnist for the Washington Post who is no conservative, and he actually wrote this week, and I don't know whether you're going to give you a heartburn, he said, Rush Limbaugh is exactly right about how Donald Trump can fix his problems, namely ignore the political chatter and focus on the domestic agenda. But I got to tell you, by historical standards, by this point, Obama's stimulus had already been passed. President Trump is pretty slow on Obamacare, is pretty slow on repealing Obamacare, pretty slow on tax reform, and there's a lot of disarray inside the Republican Party on Capitol Hill.
Well, now, here I have to tiptoe. We're not talking Republicans and Democrats opposed to Trump. We're talking establishment versus Trump. Trump considered to be an outsider. The establishment doesn't want any part of Trump. They don't want him to succeed, and I would throw some Republicans in that as well. It's just the way Washington works. And this is why I think moving forward on this agenda is crucial. You mentioned Obama's stimulus. Here's the difference, and this is what Trump supporters know. It wasn't a stimulus. It was a payoff to unions, Chris. It didn't stimulate anything. We don't have a growing economy. We don't have jobs being created at a replacement level for those we have lost. We don't have anything, Obama said. He lied about...
Rush, you might well be right.
No, this is important stuff. The people...
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying at least he passed his program, and President Trump hasn't passed any of his programs yet.
Well, it makes my point. Here you had... I tiptoe again. You have the story.
You're not very good at tiptoeing.
African American. Well, it's television. It's Fox News. I have deep respect. But no, seriously, you have first African American president. You have everybody falling all over themselves to acknowledge that, to reward that. Obama was going to get everything he wanted in the first year, because if anybody opposed it, they were going to be accused of being a racist or bigot or who knows what. But don't ignore the substance. The voters know that his stimulus, it doesn't matter when it got passed, he misled everybody about it. The people of this country are tired of being misled. They're tired of voting based on what candidates have told them they're going to do, and nothing ever changes. Trump has a wide berth here, Chris. The media did not make Donald Trump, and they can't destroy him. But the media thinks, and when I say media, let me define it. ABC, CBS, NBC, New York Times, Washington Post, USA Today, LA Times, the cadre. They have a formula, they have a blueprint for destroying Republican political officials they don't like. It's not going to work on Trump. He doesn't fit that mold. They're trying to every day. It's kind of comical to watch. And my point about the domestic agenda, if he really wants to lead,
and I'm not interrupting. I'm not interrupting because we agree. I'm just moving you along. I want to stay on this media issue because you heard my conversation just now with Ryan Freelis, and tell me what you think. When Trump sends out a tweet and says the fake media, and all those organizations you just listed are not my enemy, they're the enemy of the American people, does that go too far?
Well, again, not to his voters. His voters have
I'm asking you.
for
What
the
do you
longest
think?
time. I think that there's something to it. Enemy of the people, enemy of the state, they're enemy